Well, when company always stick the dirt in the back.
What do you mean by that?
If you're outside.
The people in the house were all brought into the living room and tied up, and I remember that Wojciech Wachowski, I believe is his name, I had tied his hands with a towel and then was instructed to kill him. And I raised the knife that I had in my hand, and I couldn't put the knife down. I couldn't bring it down. It was just as though there was a force there that held my wrist, and I couldn't move. And as he saw that I couldn't move, then he very easily undid the ties, the towel that I had tied his wrist with, and he and I began to fight. And I remember I was screaming for help, and he was screaming for help, and then Tex came and helped me, and I was left to sit and watch Sharon Tate. And about that time, all I can remember seeing is people just scattering in different places and running in different places, and I was left sitting with Sharon Tate, and she was talking to me, and I remember that I had absolutely, I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing for her as she begged for her life and for the life of her baby. And Jesus. I remember when we first went in, one of the people said, "Who are you?" And Tex said, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business." And I remember that in my conscience, it's so alive in me, even just recalling it. I remember that I had gone so far and there was no turning back. That even if I had wanted to run, even if I had wanted to leave, I couldn't. It was like I was caught in something that I had no control over. I had absolutely no say-so as to what was happening there. I was just like a tool in the hands of the devil, is the only way I can put it. And I believe that it was by the grace of God that my hand did not go down with that knife on Wojciech Wachowski's chest. I believe that...
Well, who did kill those people?
That night?
Yeah.
Tex.
What did Tex really do there? What did you observe?
Yeah, of what I saw happening in Tex. The way he moved, the viciousness and cold. It was just like seeing somebody go crazy with more power than I've ever seen anybody. I don't think he was in control of himself. I think that he was in control of, in their own human strength, could do what Tex did.
Well, Charles Manson was in control of him, right?
Yeah, as far as giving orders, but I don't think Charles Manson's mind was in control of Tex's mind that night. I think that it was a higher power than that. Charlie's human too, you know, and his mental powers are just as limited, maybe not as limited as other humans, but that there was an evil force in control of Tex that night.
Well, it was in control of all of you, obviously.
He did things that, you've heard stories, I'm sure, of people who have lifted up cars off of other people, how they have superhuman strength. Well, Tex had that kind of strength that night. But not for good, it was for evil. So it's harming and hurting people. Just to be able... I only saw him kill those people, and then I've heard later that he has said himself that he was responsible for all the deaths.
At the Tate House?
At the Tate House, yes.
Are you trying to lay the blame off on him?
No. No.
Then what do you think is the point of this?
That the truth be told, that the truth be made known. I tried to take blame from Tex, and from Charlie, and from Pat, and from Leslie, by taking and saying that I had killed Sharon Tate and that I had killed Gary Hinman. I tried to take some of the blame and put it on myself because I thought that was my part at that point, and that was a lie. And
In this room were all the survivors of those victims, of yours and the others, their families and their friends. What would you say to them?
well, about me now is that I'm not the woman that I was in 1969. I'm a new creature in Christ. I've been completely, spiritually, mentally, and almost physically born again. I still feel pain when I think about her and that she's not here, and I don't think that anything that I could say could ease that pain in any of the survivors' hearts. And only God can take care of that. Thing that completely took control over me, that I lost control of myself behind drugs and a process of deprogramming, losing my morals.
It wasn't just drugs, it was Charles Manson's persuasiveness, too.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of deprogramming that was involved in that. You take away a person's conscience of right and wrong by telling them when they're under LSD or any mind-expanding drug, there's no such thing as guilt. And you've already come to a place in your mind or your imagination where you don't like the feeling of guilt, so it's easy to say, yeah, there's no such thing as guilt. I'll believe there's no such thing as guilt, therefore I can do anything and not feel guilty about it.
Can you understand why many people, perhaps most people outside, are going to feel that you don't deserve parole, that you should never be given parole? You're aware of that?
Yes.
Well, so what if you spend the rest of your life in this prison?
Then I spend the rest of my life in this prison.
Is that thought depressing to you, though?
No, because I know that, how can I put it? I'm content. I've found it's not determined by my situation or my circumstance or my physical surroundings.
So there was obviously some other reason why they went up there and murdered Sharon Tate, and the only explanation is he was ordered by people to do that to try to discredit the counterculture, because that's what the U.S. media has sold the public, is that a hippie, a group of lunatic pill-popping hippies decided to go up there and butcher Sharon Tate. There was no question. It was to kill the counterculture was the whole reason this was set up. It's the only explanation. A lot of these mind control slaves have some amazing talents and abilities. And Charles Manson is no exception. He was very intelligent. He was definitely had a lot of philosophical things to say. He was a very talented musician. This guy could have made a lot of money. Now, one of the official stories about Charles Manson is Terry Melcher didn't want to have anything to do with him when he wasn't good enough or something.
Manson is a frustrated singer-guitarist, and Manson prevailed upon Melcher to record him commercially. Melcher did give him an interview, an audition. He wasn't very impressed with him. He gave him $50 and he walked away.
And then Manson got mad, and that's one of the reasons he decided to go up and do the Tate murders. Well, there's no question. Charles Manson knew that Terry Melcher was no longer living at that house, so that's just a complete crock of bull crap, all right? Well, I'll let you judge for yourself whether you figure Manson has no talent and whether the record producers, were not interested in them. Here's some clips.
Melcher came to me. I didn't come to Terry Melcher. He come to me with money in his hand. He offered me. I didn't ask him. I wasn't knocking someone's door down. I was running from that. When I got out, I was in that. I was already through that. I had that. I had the studio. I went to the studio. I went to Vox Studios. I had it all. And I looked at it and I said, this is a bigger jail than I just got out of.
Hi, Charlie, baby. That's very groovy. Okay.
Let's see.
Do whatever you feel like, man.
Yeah.
Just groove, Tell us when you're going to start and we'll turn the machine on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, can't you just turn it on and let it go?
Okay, we're going to let it go right
and
now.
then take out what you want and the rest throw it away. You should get a job making people nervous. What was we at? Restless people from the sick city. burnt their homes down. Oh, you wanted something happy? Let's see, I'm trying to think of something happy, man.
No, don't even think, man. Do what comes in your head. I take back everything I said. I'm just sitting here going to groove with you for the next hour and a half, for hour and 45 minutes.
All right.
Do what you want to do.
All right. Right here. Let's see. What was we talking about? Sick City, yeah. Restless people from a sick city burnt their homes down to make the sky look pretty. What can I do? I'm just a person. This is the line that we always seem to hear. You just sit. Things get worse and watch TV and drink your beer.
I forgive you.
Yes.
Has no effect on you.
Walking all
no.
alone, not going anywhere.
Because they're not the ones that I have to face.
Nobody seems to care. Restless as the wind, this town is killing me. Gotta put an end to this restless misery. I'm on the point in this joint. I'm on the point in this joint. I'm unaware in this chair. I'm on the point in this joint. What you gonna do? I don't know. What you gonna say? I don't care. It's all right there behind your head. Time goes by and you think it really counts. Time goes by and you weigh it by the ounce. You call it money. You call it funny. You call it happy. You call it run for fun. Run for fun. You like to run for fun. My goodness. Have you ever seen anybody that could run for fun? Yeah, well, man, I'm nervous even. Huh? I'm nervous. If I can make myself nervous, I should be able to make myself unnervous. And it makes sense that it works both ways there. Oh yeah, I got it. Anyway, that's another song. You know what, man? I wrote a lot of these songs and I'm just singing them, you know, and I don't even forgot the ones I wrote.
Forget we're even here, man. I ain't even here, baby. You're all by yourself out there. What are you nervous about? Just blow your soul,
Hey,
man.
well, look here. Let me explain something to you. I wrote about a couple hundred songs, you know? Are you listening? And then I forgot, and I started making them up as I go, you know? And then I forgot the other songs that I, you know, I've got them all written down and all that, man. But, yeah. All right, I'll give you an example, man. I'll try to stick to a song that'll make you some money.